Patrick Chan has become the most familiar of all Canadian figure skaters. He's 4 times a national champion. He's also twice won the silver medal at the World Championships. He's the inheritor of a long line of Canadian greatness. Now, a day in the life of the man who should be king.
It is a gorgeous day here in Colorado Springs. I'm at the Performance Center of the National Strength and Conditioning Association, and this, at 9 o'clock in the morning, is where Patrick Chan starts his day. A very specific warm-up routine that sets him up. We're going to find out what a day in the life of Patrick Chan is like here in the state of Colorado, and what has he been doing down here that makes him so successful. Better you than me. That looks like it hurts.
A little bit. It hurt a lot more before when I first started doing it, but I got used to it.
Like everything. Okay, so this is the program. This is how the program starts that Andy O'Brien, your strength and conditioning coach, gave you. Andy worked out of Calgary. You were referred to Andy when you were training in Florida. Why did you feel that was something lacking in your program? Why did you go to Andy for this particular strength and training program?
Well, at the time when I was in Florida, I was actually I thought I was doing the right program off ice, and I thought I was doing the right things, but I've always felt kind of sluggish. I never felt really sharp, and then I never felt fresh every time I'd go back. By the end of the week, I was burnt out pretty much. I felt like I had no energy. He started introducing me to new exercises to make sure, first of all, I warm up properly, and then again, my workout after my skating is not overdoing it and not letting my body, so I can still rest when I go home and eat and go to bed. I feel fresh the next day. Now that I have this warm-up ritual every day I practice now, it's like if I don't do it, I just don't feel right on the ice. I feel stiff, I feel slow, I just don't feel right. And then the session becomes more frustrating for me. So Andy, I think the biggest part Andy has given me is the warm-up. He definitely gave me something written down on paper to follow. So I have to do it every morning.
Final set.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. 45 minutes just to warm up. I shot basketball for 5 minutes and I thought I was ready to go.
No, 45 minutes to do the right things and to be able to do the jumps I have to do.
All right, so to keep you on schedule, what's next? Over to the ice?
Over to the ice and at the World Arena right across the street.
And it's literally right over there?
Literally right over there.
All right, let's hit it.
I want you to really focus on staying on that outside edge.
We can't help but notice a distinct change in the young lad. Super, I call it articulate training.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that transition.
Great. We have a wonderful team of people, and we call it the Chan team that surrounds this. And we have a periodized life for Patrick. We have a whole yearly plan, which is a macro cycle, and then we come down to microcycles to a daily planning. And so from the minute he wakes up, he has an agenda. When he's going to eat, then he goes to the gym. He knows exactly what he's doing in the gym. Then he comes to the ice rink and does movement on ice, gets himself together. The next session is a warm-up, but he is every single step of that day. Then we've broken it down to what jumps he's doing, what his goals are. Outside. And then he has a break. He goes home and he naps and has a brief nutrition, and he comes back for his third session, which is the ultimate one where we expect to run a clean program and have 100%. So he has a fully packed day, but it is organized to the minute. Oh yeah, that's nice. I love that one. Excellent.
How's the new toy, I call it, the 4 Revolution jump, that beautiful
the new toy,
quad.
yes.
And was integrating that into the programs, it seemed pretty seamless to us, but how was it in reality?
The wonderful part about this, we know there's a real science to this quad, and we know there's a little bit of art. So scientifically, he understood it, and he was able to visually see the differences and then, put that inside his body and kinetically change that. And then over this last year, we started to integrate that quad slowly into each event that he went to, little by little. And then we made the very good decision, I think, to put the 2 quads in and take his little nemesis, the axle, and put it in a very special spot in his program. And it was delicious. There it is. Has all the trappings of a world champion, Patrick. All right.
Environment's a big big part in like my success this season, and that's the main reason I moved here.
You can tell we're up in the mountains, Colorado.
Yeah.
Altitude training without even trying, and I feel like, wow, you just seem in such great shape.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hurt to be training at altitude every day.
No, and it gives me a lot of confidence. When I get to competition, I know that I can get through this long program easily, and by the end of the program, I won't be out of breath. And I think Nationals is a good place to look, and if you see my program at the end, when I take in my bow, I don't even notice how tired. My legs are already recovered by the time I walk over to the kiss and cry. And
fresh as a daisy.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for allowing us to come
problem.
visit, and this is the official Good Luck at Worlds.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming.
And joining us via Skype from Hershey, Pennsylvania, where he is touring with Stars on Ice, is our partner Tracy, Kurt Browning. Kurt, you spent so much time with Patrick in Colorado Springs. Is he ready to win the World Championship?
Not only is he ready to win the Worlds, but I think mentally he's really, truly been training to do that, not to go and see what happens and rely on his natural talent. He's got a game plan that is set to win and become the world champion.
A very strict game plan, and it has served him well this season. We saw him win the Grand Prix final, step up at the Canadian Championships, but what does this delay do to him, more than a month setback in his training schedule? How do you think that will affect him?
It is a long time to wait when you are one of the favorites to win. If you're in fifth in the Worlds, like Thomas Werner needs extra time, Patrick doesn't. So mentally it's going to be a challenge, but I think that he can just settle back. Now, if he didn't have a routine to settle back into, it would be just killing time. But he's so focused every day, I think that he'll just be able to settle in and trust that routine. He trusts everything around him. Christy crawl. He trusts the math that goes into the preparation for the quad. I think he'll be able to hold out.
Great.
He was second at Cup of Russia. It was a competition that he went to win. How do you think he's feeling perhaps about the venue now that the World Championships have been moved to Moscow?
Oh, that's a good question. Little things like that can creep in and get into your armor and start to be a problem. It's all about the mind games that we like to play with ourselves. I think that he should just feel that it's just a sheet of ice, just like anywhere else in the World Championships are being held there, and just do his job. Easier said than done, right?
Always is.
Thanks so much, Kurt. Have a great skate, and we'll hear from you when we're at the Worlds.
All right, that sounds great. See you guys. Miss you.
Now here's Patrick Chan, the four-time Canadian champion, via Skype from Colorado Springs, his training base. You know, Patrick, last time we talked, you were waiting and you didn't know if or when. Now you know it's Moscow. How are you feeling about that?
I'm really relieved, to be honest, and I can finally have a deadline to my training, and we kind of figure out the periodization for my training as well, and it was I was in a bit of a limbo during the time when we didn't have any news. So now that we have some news, it's finally a big relief, and I'm really excited.
Patrick, with this delay, how has that affected your training plan, and how are you handling it? It must be so difficult when you've had the end in sight, and then to have all of that change. How are you adapting?
Well, I've actually been able to step back a little bit in my training. I've started to take more days off and kind of pace myself a little more. Each training session is a little more quality and not so much quantity. My run-throughs aren't as often as usual. So, for example, I'm doing my short and long program each day. So instead of doing 2 every day, I'm just doing 1 each day. So I kind of have an easier schedule, and it's easier on my body.
Now, Patrick, you've been full of surprises this year in competition. You open the season adding a quad in the short and the long, and then you step up at Nationals with 2 quads in 1 program. Any surprises or changes that you're preparing to make for the World Championships?
Unfortunately, no. I wish I had more tricks.
That could be a good thing.
I wish I had more tricks up my sleeve, but no, everything's going to stay as it is, as it was at Nationals. And hopefully I'll skate the way I want to, and the way I did at Nationals was a great way to skate at Nationals, and a good start to training for Worlds. And I'm really, really excited, and I've got a lot more confidence with the 2 quads in the program and in the short program. So,
it's endless what can be possible at Worlds.
Don't tell me it's getting easy for you. Don't tell me that.
Hey, listen, one quick one, Patrick. You had targeted a win at Cup of Russia. You came second to Werner. And after that, you consulted Brian Boitano.
Yes.
Are you confident about going to Russia this time?
Very confident. And I can tell you that you give me one chance, and if I don't do it the first time, I think a second time I'll do it. And I think the second time going to Moscow is going to be perfect. And I think God has a way to plan things, and I'll be really comfortable and familiar with the hotel and the venue. So this time I'll just be more mentally prepared, as better than last time. And thanks to Brian and all the tips he's given me, it's been really helpful.
Hey, Patrick, thanks so much for doing this, and we'll see you in Moscow.
Thanks, Scott and Tracy.
Good luck.